Apparently in the 12th year of Solomon's reign 1026 BCE, Solomon congregated the men of Israel to Jerusalem for the temple inauguration and the festival of booths. The tabernacle with the textile acute miritra longo, temple 1078 also suffered periods of neglect. King Shishak of Egypt robbed it of its treasures 993 BCE in the days of Hoboam the son of Solomon, only about 33 years after its inauguration. 1 Kai 14. 25, 26. 2 Ch 12. 9 King Asa 977-937 BCE had respect for Jehovah's house, but to protect Jerusalem he foolishly bribed King Ben-Hadad of Syria, with silver and gold from the treasures of the temple, to break his covenant with Baasha king of Israel. 1 Kai 15. 18, 19. 2 Ch 15. 17, 18. 16. 2, 3. After a period of turbulence and neglect of the temple, King Jehoash of Judah 898-859 BCE oversaw its repair. 2 Kai 12. 4-12. 2 Ch 24. 4-14 In the days of his son Amaziah, Jehoash king of Israel robbed it. 2 Kai 14. 13, 14 King Jotham 777,762 BCE did some construction work on the temple area, building the upper gate. 2 Kai 15. 32, 35. 2 Ch 27. 1, 3 King Ahaz of Judah 761,746 BCE not only sent the treasures of the temple to Tiglath-Pileser III, king of Assyria, as a bribe, but he also polluted the temple by building an altar patterned after one in Damascus, and by replacing the copper altar of the temple with it. 2 Kai 16. 5-16 Finally he closed the doors of Jehovah's house. 2 Ch 28. 24. Ahaz's son Hezekiah 745-717 BCE did what he could to undo the bad works of his father. At the very beginning of his reign, he reopened the temple and had it cleaned up. 2 Ch 29. 3, 15, 16 However, later on, for fear of Sennacherib king of Assyria, he cut off the doors and the doorposts of the temple that he himself had caused to be overlaid with gold and sent them to Sennacherib. 2 Kai 18. 15, 16. But when Hezekiah died, the temple entered a half-century of desecration and disrepair. His son Manasseh 716-662 BCE went beyond any of Judah's previous kings in wickedness, setting up altars to all the army of the heavens in 2 courtyards of the house of Jehovah. 2 Kai 21. 1-5. 2 Ch 33. 1-4 By the time of Manasseh's grandson Josiah 659-629 BCE the formerly magnificent edifice was in a state of disrepair. Evidently it was in a disorganized or cluttered condition, for High Priest Hilkiah's finding the Book of the Law likely an original scroll written by Moses was an exciting discovery. 2 Kai 22. 3-13. 2 Ch 34. 8-21 After the temple's repair and cleansing, the greatest Passover since the days of Samuel the prophet was celebrated. 2 Kai 23. 21-23. 2 Ch 35. 17-19 This was during the ministry of the prophet Jeremiah. J 1. 1-3 From this time until the temple's destruction, it remained open and in use by the priesthood, though many of the priests were corrupt. The temple built by Zerubbabel. As foretold by Jehovah's prophet Isaiah, God raised up Cyrus king of Persia as a liberator of Israel from the power of Babylon. Isra 45. 1 Jehovah also stirred up his own people under the leadership of Zerubbabel of the tribe of Judah to return to Jerusalem. This they did in 537 BCE after 70 years of desolation, as Jeremiah had foretold, for the purpose of rebuilding the temple. As 1. 1-6. 2. 1, 2. J 29. 10 This structure, though not nearly so glorious as Solomon's temple, endured longer, standing for nearly 500 years, from 515 BCE to very late in the 1st century BCE. The temple built by Solomon had served about 420 years, from 1027 to 607 BCE. In Cyrus' decree he ordered As for anyone that is left from all the places where he is residing as an alien, let the men of his place assist him with silver and with gold and with goods and with domestic animals along with the voluntary offering for the house of the true God, which was in Jerusalem. As 1:4 Cyrus also returned 5,400 vessels of gold and silver that Nebuchadnezzar had taken from Solomon's temple. As 7-11 In the 7th month Ethanim, or Tishri of the year 537 BCE, the altar was set up. And in the following year, the foundation of the new temple was laid. As Solomon had done, the builders hired Sidonian Zotex to execute Miritra Longo, temple 1079 plate and 1 layer of timbers. The length is not stated. As 6:3, for it had dining rooms and storerooms, and 13:4-5, and undoubtedly it had roof chambers, and possibly other buildings were associated with it.